Hey, what is up guys, and welcome back once again to another Minecraft tutorial. Today we're going to be working on this medieval style restaurant you see here. Now before we begin, I thought I'd mention that whilst I was building, I did forget to show you guys how to do this little overhang right above the door. Although if you do have the time, I would highly recommend building one of these just because I do think that it does add a whole lot more detail. So without further ado guys, let's get into the build. So for this build, you guys are going to need 21 by 17 blocks of space. Now to sort of save time, what I'm going to do is place one block wherever we have a pillar. Now you guys are going to need to raise it up 4 tall, and of course after I do it I will show you that. So to start off, you're going to place one block here in the left corner, then skip 3, place one more, and then skip one more gap of 3 and place that last one. So this is going to be sort of the front shape of the build, and as you can see it's going to create sort of a upside down L in the end. So if we move to the right side, we're going to skip 3 once again, and we'll have 2 more sections of 3 after that. So on this side you'll have a total of 4 pillars. Now if we move to the back, we're going to set 2 more sections of 3, actually make that 4 if you want to just go all the way across. So on this side, instead of just having 4, we're going to have a total of 5 pillars. Now if we move to the left side of the build, if we're looking at it from the front, we're going to have 2 sections of 2 instead. So we're going to have 2 gaps of 2 instead of the normal 3 that we've been making. But in the end, it is going to keep that sort of odd number that we always like, which will be 5 across. Actually, in this case, let's see, it'll actually be 7, so that's pretty neat. Gives us a bit more space. So now, if we're looking at it from the front on this sort of left section, we're going to set 2 more gaps of 3 like this. So that'll be 2 pillars on either side divided by that one in the middle. And then for this side, this is where it gets a little bit different, and we're going to have 1 gap of 3 on the right, split up by this pillar right here, which will leave us with 1 gap of 1 on that left side. So I'm going to raise each one of these pillars up 4 tall, and then I'll see you guys when I'm finished with that. Okay, so once you've completed this, you're actually going to want to keep your oak wood logs out, and then we're going to start making cross beams all the way across the tops of each one of these. So once again, I'll see you guys when I'm complete with this. Okay, so now that we're finished with that, we're going to be able to move on to some of the more fun stuff, I guess you could call it, and that is building most of the walls, which is really going to make the build stand out and sort of give it that unique look. So for this, we're going to do 1 layer across the bottom that's just going to be 1 block tall of the stone, and then on either side of that, for every 3 wide section we have, we're going to do 2 blocks up on either side with our stone slabs. Now if you do want these little double stacks, all you have to do is type into the command slash and then give and then your name, whatever that may be, and then the item ID will be 43. Now I believe you might still need to be in update 1.7 or lower, because I'm pretty sure they took out the item IDs for 1.8, which kind of sucks, but that is how you get these double stacks a little bit faster than if you would just be placing them down one at a time. So this is pretty much the wall. Now all you have to do is add that window in between, and of course right here, as you may have noticed with the path, this is going to be where the door is. So we'll do just 1 block of stone on either side, and then for the main portion of the wall, instead of doing just 2 on either side, we're going to do a little archway on the top as well. So it kind of creates that little space that'll be a perfect fit for our door to go in. Speaking of the door, let's go ahead and put that in right now. So really quickly, let me just show you. So in every 3 wide gap, we're going to do that same pattern that we did for right here with the window. Of course, if you want to mix it up, you can leave some of the windows out and leave some of them in. Now if we move on to the back side, it's going to be that same thing. So of course on here, you don't really want 4 windows on this side because it's just going to get really repetitive. So maybe mix it up and do every other one with a window. Now if we move to this one, I'll show you this really quick just so you know how to do it. On the bottom, this is going to be 2 blocks wide with this stone, and then on either side it's going to be up 1, 2, up 1, 2, and then these 2 middle blocks on the left and right of this oak wood pillar in the middle, that's where you're going to want to place your windows. And then pretty much everywhere else on the build is going to be the same as this front spot, except with the exception of this one right here, which will just be 1 stone and then 2 stone slabs right on top of that. So I'm going to go ahead and complete the rest of the walls, and I will see you guys when that is done. So just a quick side note, if you are right here on the back of the build, this is where I'm going to be placing my chimney. Of course, you guys can place it wherever you want, but if you want to sort of follow what I'm doing and have it be the simplest route, you can, of course, place it exactly where I do mine. And for that, you're just going to want to leave your window out right here and just fill that whole section in, and I'll show you guys how to do the chimney sort of towards the end of the build. But anyways, I'll see you guys once the rest of this is complete. Okay, so I completed all of our windows and walls, and you guys may have noticed these 4 blocks down here. This is just going to be sort of the little boundary for our stone brick balcony that we're going to make right here. It's going to be just 1 story tall, but I think it will create sort of a nice cool effect for our build and give us a little extra room. Maybe we can put some tables out on top of it or some other cool stuff. So to start this off, you're just going to do 4 blocks like this, and this is the chiseled stone brick. And to start this off, you're going to place it in the middle of this 3-gap wide wall right here, and then from there you can just skip a gap every time, or skip a block every time, and in the end you should end up with 4, and it will sort of be in line with that block right there on that wall in the back. And then for the middle, we can probably just do something with our stone bricks and just go 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and then on top of those, maybe we could place in some more of these chiseled stone bricks. Or actually, to make things better, let's delete those top 4 blocks and just make it this, so it is sort of a bit more even. And then I believe the floor will sort of come across like this, but we're probably going to end up saving that just for a little bit. In fact, for now, we might as well get a little bit of a head start and just sort of connect that and then this all the way across like so, and then that should be good to leave it like that for now. So our next step is going to be to sort of create a less flat building, and to do that we're going to do a pillar on either side of the ones we placed in the very beginning of the video. So of course they're going to be 4 tall just like the other ones, although they are going to be on the outside like this. So for the corners you're going to place 2. For any blocks in the middle you're going to just place 1 of them, and then let me just check to make sure there aren't really any spots that will confuse you guys. I don't think there is, unless this corner is a bit scary for some of you. So that's all it's going to be, nothing too crazy. And then if you want to get a head start on the rest, you can also place a block here on top of the very first pillars, and then from there you're going to extend it out 2 blocks. So of course on the corners you're going to have 2 of them, just like the ones on the bottom, and then on the flat spots you're just going to have 1 bit sticking out, and then to finish it off you're just going to do a cross beam across both of those. So on this section, make sure and have it 1 block away from the previous one you placed in the very beginning, that little crossbeam right there, and then that should be the same all the way around the build except for the corners. So I'm gonna show you guys how to do the corners really quick. So of course you'll do 1 block up, then 2 over, and then right here once again let's place the pillar really fast, then we'll go 1 block up, then 2 over. And so as you can see, this is creating a sort of weird abstract shape. So to fill this in, what I usually like to do is take the same material as the wall, which in this case will be stone bricks, or if you'd like to, you can just use the regular stone slab, and I'm going to place that in right there. Then we'll do 1 more oak wood block sticking up, and then just 2 coming out from that. And then, as I said before, every single other section is going to be the same, just a little cross beam connecting it with all the other pillars. So I'm going to do all that really quick, and you guys should too, and then yeah, I will see you guys when it is done. Okay, so some more things you can do to sort of spice up the build and make it look a little more sturdy and sort of, I guess, held together is just adding a few blocks in, and it's going to be really simple. So all we're going to need for this is stone brick stairs and then stone brick half slabs. So for the half slabs, you're just going to place them in between the 3 wide gaps, and then for the doorway, we'll just do 1 on either side. Now for the 2 wide gaps, it's going to be pretty much the same thing, just do them right underneath that window, and then some more things you can do to sort of, this is what really makes it look a lot more sturdy, is placing in a stone brick stair on the bottom of these and then 1 on the top right underneath that little sticky eye bit right there. So we're going to do this all the way around the build like so, and then I'll see you guys when I'm done with that. Also, I almost forgot, another thing that I usually like to do, as you can see underneath here, it can look a little bit plain unless you do place in these little spruce wood stairs. So you can always do these, and another thing that I usually like to do, the only reason I'm not doing it for this is because I've pretty much done it on every single other style, is place in some fences underneath these, and then if you'd like to, you can switch over to, let's see, where the heck are they? Here they are, the spruce wood half slabs, and you can do something like this instead. So if you like that more, you can always do that, but for now, I'm just going to do 2 spruce wood stairs on either side underneath all the 3 wide gaps, and then of course for the 2 wide gaps, it's going to be a little bit different, but what I usually do is just do 1 on either side like that, or 1 in the middle like this. I think I'll go with the ones on the outside. Personally, I just think it looks a little bit better, and yeah, so I believe that's all I really need to cover besides these things. So I'll see you guys when I'm done making these. So I'll be honest, adding in all those extra parts such as the pillars and all these little stone brick blocks, it really does take a lot more time, but in the end, I just believe that it really does, it sort of pays off, and it makes your build look a whole lot better, and it really just stands out from all the other flat builds that are around there. So the only other thing that I want to cover for this sort of first floor is you can delete all these little sticky eye bits on here, and then if you'd like to, you can just place in sort of the outline of the floor. No need to do the whole thing really quick, or just yet. So all I'm going to do is just do an outline, and this is going to make it a little bit easier to place in most of our second floor walls. So we can do this really quick. And then for the second floor, the materials you're going to need are the oak wood logs, once again, and then some other stuff, probably the windows. The birchwood planks would definitely be necessary, and I believe that might be it for now. If I think of anything else, I'll definitely let you guys know. But once again, to start out, we're going to use our oak wood logs, and from here we're just going to raise this up 4 tall. So we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, And once again, to save time, I'm just going to place one block wherever we need a pillar. But of course, you guys will need to do the full floor. What am I saying? Full 4. There we go. Said about 3 different things. So you're going to need the full 4 everywhere I place one block. So I'm just going to go around. So you'll need a pillar right here. Of course, all of these pillars are going to be right above the ones we placed most recently. So that should make things a little bit easier for you guys. So I'm just going to go around placing them right above those on this back wall. I think it's going to be the same number we used on the very bottom, if I'm not mistaken. Except on the corners, you might need, I think, 1 extra block. So we'll go around placing these. On the corner, you don't really need one right there, but instead you're going to place it on top of that other one, just like I said. And just in case, just to make sure this doesn't really confuse anyone, I'm just going to flip it over like that so no one gets messed up. But as I said before, I'm going to raise each one of these pillars up 4 tall, so I'll see you guys when that is done. And then of course, just like the second floor, we cannot forget those vital cross beams. So we're going to place all these in around the build. And then one more thing I like to do that sort of makes the build a bit less flat is placing in some sticky addy bits, as you may have already noticed I've done down here. So for those, you're just going to place one of these things on the outside of every single one of these pillars. If you do run into a corner, you can always mix it up and decide which way that one goes. Thing that I like to do to sort of determine which way the ones on the corners face is figure out which way my roof is pointing, and then I'll have it go the same way as the slope. So for this roof, it's going to be going up this way to the right, and then it's going to come back down on that side. And then on this one over here where we run into these corners, this roof is going to be going up here and then down there. And then for the back, I'm thinking about placing one more in right here, sort of mirroring that one on the very front of the build. So of course you can place these little sticky addy bits facing that way. And then I didn't even show you guys these ones, but I'm going to place them facing one to the left, and then over here we'll face one to the right like that. But every single other one we're just going to face out towards you, and then as I said before, make sure to get on those cross beams. So I'm going to do that really quick, and I'll see you guys in a little bit. Alright guys, all the cross beams and those nice sticky addy bits are in. One thing I did notice, however, is this corner. I figured this might be a little bit tricky for some of you. So for the cross beam for this one, all you're going to do is go 1, 2, 3 from this pillar right here, and then that should be it. Just instead, I figured some of you might accidentally do a pillar right there, but that is definitely not what you're supposed to do. So just make sure and do 1, 2, 3 right there. And now for our next step, we're going to be filling in some of the walls. And then for this, as I said, we're going to need some birch wood and some other materials such as the oak wood still. Of course, our lovely white stained windows. Or if you are in the default texture pack, definitely just use those regular clear ones as I've mentioned before. And then one more thing that I like to use is some stone brick stairs just to kind of mix it up and add some detail to the build. So for these, we're going to start from the inside, and instead of placing windows at the beginning, once we're finished placing in all the walls, we're going to go to the outside and just sort of carve those out. I figured that might be the easiest way instead of just guessing where we need to place them from the inside. So to begin with, we're just going to do a layer of birch wood all the way across the bottom, just to sort of give ourselves some guidelines. And then after this, we can start raising it up and actually sort of filling in most of the walls. And when you place these in, make sure and don't do it right above the oak wood. And by doing that, you're going to give yourself a much more 3D look to the build, which is really nice. Definitely keeps it from looking too flat. And now our next step is just going to be to raise each one of these walls up 2 more blocks. So in total, it's going to be 3 tall, and you will still have this sort of gap right above it where you can see the oak wood. So I'm going to do that really quick, and I'll see you guys when it is finished. So there we go, those nice walls are in, and then as you can see, as I said before, it is going to be a lot easier to carve these things in from the outside. So for the windows on the front, we're just going to do 2 right in the middle of each one of these sections. And then another thing that we can do for the walls is grabbing our oak wood. Oops, I didn't mean to throw it, but there we go. We'll grab our oak wood and then do 2 blocks sticking in towards the windows right on the middle, and that's going to give us a much more detailed look. And then below these, if you want to, you can place these stone brick stairs, as you may have noticed I did over on the inn. So we're going to do these, and then one more thing, of course, we'll place in the windows, and then that should be good. Now the only tricky section I believe we have on this build for this will be this one right here. So of course, don't do a window right there, it's just not really going to look good, plus it won't really look out at anything, not much to view. I would definitely stray from placing a window in on that section. Where else? I think we'll probably end up placing a door right here, so go ahead and leave that right open how it is. And then what else can we do? Oh yeah, this little section right here. Of course, what we're going to do here is just place 2 windows in the middle, and definitely don't delete that block like I just did. But yeah, place the windows in the middle, and then the little sticky addy bits with the oak wood logs will go on either side, and then the stairs can just go right underneath those. And I believe that should be all we need. If you're wondering how to do it on the door, just do 2 bits sticking in. Or if you'd like to, just to sort of save room and make things look a bit more clean, you can just do these 2 stairs and maybe have them face upside down just for sort of a new look. And I think that could be cool. Also, this corner may get a little bit tricky, so just do 1 block right here. No need to sort of squeeze one in here. Unless you want to, you can always do that. So something just like this, and then 2 stairs underneath those. But that should be it. So I'm going to fly around, do the rest of those. You guys should too, and I will see you guys after it's done. Alright, so those are done. The only other thing that I thought I'd mention before we move on is this section right here. As I mentioned in the very beginning, we are going to be placing a chimney right here. So if you accidentally placed a window on this section, which is just 1 over from that first one, make sure and just delete that, because we are going to be placing a chimney and that window will end up getting in the way and it'll just be sort of unnecessary. So for some more detail, what I like to do in the medieval style is just add some little detailed pillars right in between these 2 sticky caddy bits. So for this, we just do 1 fence in the middle, and then, where is it? A cobblestone wall on the top and bottom, if I can find the damn things. There we go. So here it is, 1 cobblestone wall on the bottom, 1 cobblestone wall on the top, and then of course that fence in the middle. So you're going to fly around doing those everywhere where you have a little 3-wide gap in between the little sticky caddy bit on the top and then the bit on the bottom. So you can just place all those in. For the middle sections, you don't have to. I find that it looks better if you sort of leave those open. And then what else did I need to mention? Oh yeah, we can place a door right there really fast. So we'll do this. And then, as you guys can see, we did place this little deck 1 block too low. So what we're going to do is just remove all these blocks really quickly. Sorry about this, but we're just going to do that. And then instead of just having 1 of these stone brick blocks, we're going to raise it up 2 like this. And then we'll grab our chiseled stone bricks once again, grab these. And then on top of these, we can just grab our stone bricks once again, bring it out to here, and just give ourselves a nice floor. And since we don't really need to place anything else here, we can sort of finish off this deck. So for this deck, we're going to grab ourselves some, I think this cobblestone stairs might be a nice little touch. So everywhere where you have a pillar, just do a cobblestone stair on either side of it, on the very top like this. And we're going to give this a sort of castle look. So above these, we can grab our, I think the chiseled stone bricks should look good again. We'll just place them on top of here, and then we could also do 1. Should we place 1 here or not? I think that might go better without them. So what else can we do? I'm thinking, what if we just did another cobblestone stair like this above it? That is looking quite nice. I really don't mind that too much. So we could do the cobblestone stairs like that, and then I guess, you know what? Why not throw a little chiseled stone brick in right there? It really doesn't look too shabby. And then on top of all these, just to give this build a little more depth, what we're going to do is, let's see. You know what we could do to make things even nicer, especially from the viewer up here? Let's switch these cobblestone stairs to something else. So maybe we can grab ourselves some stone slabs, and then on the top half block of these cobblestone stairs, we're going to place it there, and then we'll put some fences in, or some iron bars. That way people can actually see up there and then see down from it. And then just to fill these gaps in, we can place some more of these little half slabs in there just to fill it in and give it a nice little pattern. And then, as I said before, you can try it whatever you like best. I think I'm going to use iron bars for this one, although just in case I'll test out the fences. So let's see which one looks better. So there's the iron bars, there's the fences. Which one should we do? Dang, this is going to be a tough choice. I'm thinking I'm going to go with the fences. Just because it does add a little bit more variation in our color scheme. Gives it a bit more brown instead of that whole deck just being all gray and nasty like that. So I think we definitely should go with the fences. And then just to give it a little more depth and detail, we can just place these little half slabs on top of all those. I think that might look cool. So we'll place those in, and then that balcony thing should be done. There's not really too much else you are going to need to place in here, to be honest. Although if you do want to give it some curvature, you could grab some of these stone brick stairs, or excuse me, cobblestone stairs, and just place them on the insides of the pillars just to give it some more support and make it look a bit more realistic maybe. And then that should be all you need. So that's the balcony. Not much else you really need to do besides some more details if you'd like to. Although of course this is totally optional. You don't have to do these. Although I think it might look a little cooler. So I think that should be all we need. Yeah, let's leave it at that for now. If I think of anything else, I'll definitely do it. But where was I? Did I? Oh, that's right. I'm going to fill in the rest of these little detailed pillars, as I said before, so I'll be right back. Alright, so our last step of the build, or at least one of the last things we're going to need to do, is place in a roof. And this is going to be one of the final things that's really going to make our build stand out and just sort of become a finished product. So before we can place that, we're going to do one little layer of oak wood right about the windows just to get rid of this nasty gap above them that I always talk about. So we're going to place these in really quick, and this should make it a little easier to sort of place in our roof shape and all that. So we can do this really quickly. And then as I was flying around, I sort of noticed one more thing we could do to this build to really give it a little more style and just sort of make it a bit more unique from the rest of the ones in this little town that we've created. So we'll place that in, and then ignoring that for now, I saw that the back of this build is looking quite flat. Of course, this chimney will be in here, sort of mixing it up a little bit. But right here, and we still have a lot of space for this, so I was thinking maybe we could make some sort of overhang. So if we maybe grab our oak wood, we'll place one here, and in fact, let's bring that out too, just so we know which one we need to work off of. And then if we skip, we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we'll place another block here. So 5 wide gap in the middle, and of course we'll bring that out too. And then I'm thinking we could probably do some sort of, if you guys have heard of it, it's called a pergola, I think. I'm pretty sure it's called that. Correct me if I'm wrong, but it's, you bring it out like this, however many blocks you feel comfortable with. I think I'm going to do, let's see, how many is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think 6 could be good. Or maybe we should do 7. Let's try 7 just for now. And then if we go one block left of that final one, just to give it a little bit of an overhang, we're going to bring each one of these down to the bottom, just like so. And then we'll connect these two with crossbeam. And now for this, we can give it a really cool effect. You can just get really unique with these things. So some of you may still not know what I'm going for here, but I'm going to have some seating under here for the sort of customers and whatnot. But then to make the top look really cool, there's a lot of things we can do. So for now, I'm just going to start placing in fences just to fill it in. And then around this, we're going to place in some plants and stuff just to sort of look like ivy. And we can have it just sort of drape down and look really cool. So I'm just going to do a little quick rough draft of this really fast. So I'll grab my oak leaves, and then you're just going to sort of scatter these around randomly. And then you can do it random or as random as you want on the top for now. But as soon as we go down to the bottom, we can really start to shape this thing out. And then of course, make sure and have some sort of just drape down and drape over this thing just to give it a really nice cool effect. And definitely try to randomize it up as best as possible. Try to stray from straight lines or really just diagonal corners and just sort of be unique. Just try a bunch of different things until you get something that you really find looks good and that you like. And then we can also have some coming down from the top, so all you need to do if you want to make these is just break the fences, and then we can have these sort of just hang down. And as you can see, it really gives it a nice cool effect. This is sort of like a little hidden area. It's got some nice shade. And then of course we can maybe switch this up and make this a doorway instead. And this is just going to be a really cool area in the end, I think. And then it even looks a little bit better from the top. Although some things we might want to do just to give it a little more detail, just so it's not too plain, is grab some stone slabs or whatever material you think looks best and just place it right on top of these little corners. So we'll just have a total of 3, and then that should be really all we need. Although if you want to go farther than that, you can do maybe some fences right here. Although, let's try it for now. There's one more thing I'd like to try really fast. If we grab our oak wood, or excuse me, spruce wood slabs, let's fill these in. And then there we go. That should be looking a little bit better. And then if we want to, we can place them on these sides as well. So if we grab these bad boys, maybe delete that stair. Same with right here. So we'll place these in. Grab our spruce wood slabs again. Fill these in right across the bottom. Like this. And then there we go. So let's just do one more little flyby, and as you can see, that gave it a lot more detail and just sort of made it look a bit more secluded and sort of shaded or enclosed in. And yeah, I think that's all we really need to do for that spot right now. And so yeah, as before, I went on sort of like a way off topic with that little thing, but we're gonna go back to the roof and sort of start to shape this thing. So for the front, which is where we're going to start, we're going to place one block right here and one block on the far right, and these are going to be sort of our boundaries, and then from there we're just going to work our way up. I believe the middle one will probably go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That seems way too high. It might only be 5. And then from there, let's just see if this connects right. Okay, perfect. So you're going to have 4 blocks going up, and then that 5 tall pillar in the middle, and then it's going to be the same thing over here. So 1, 2, 3, and then 4. And then for the sort of inside of this, I usually like to make sort of a checkered shape. So if we just delete every other block and then just sort of fill these in, just like this. So there we go. And then that should be all we need for now. Of course, just to mix things up, I'm going to want to place a big giant window in here so I can delete all those middle ones. And then what else do we need to do? Oh, that's right. We'll do this thing on the back. So all you're going to want to do for this is sort of mirror the front side, just kind of create the exact same thing. So let's see, we'll do that, then skip 3, place that block there, skip 3, once again, place this here. And then of course this pillar is going to be 5 tall, so we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we're going to have 4 blocks sort of creating a stairway up to that. So we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4. And then once again, 1, 2, 3, and 4. There we go. And then once again, we'll place a block here, and then, where was I? Oh, that's right, the window. So let's see if we can't place this in really fast. So we'll delete those 3, and then that should give us a nice amount of space to put a nice big window in there. And that should be all we need for that section. And then we can also do, now for these little side windows that you see me making, of course, you really do not have to do it. The build is going to be the same pretty much from the inside, but from the outside it's going to look 10 times better, if not more. These things just really create a lot more detail in the roof, make it look a lot less plain, and I really recommend doing them. But of course, as I mentioned, you don't have to. So if you're trying to go for like a little speed build and you really are just trying to save as much time as possible, you don't have to place these in. But if you'd like to, you can always do that. And so let's see. Let's just fill this one in. This is going to be a little bit smaller than those 2 big ones we made in the front, so I don't think we're going to want to place a window in here. For this, it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4 in the middle, and then we'll just work our way up. So 1, 2, and then 3 going up on either side, just like this. And then, of course, for here, as I said, or as I mentioned before, I usually do like to do a checkered shape, so we'll just fill these in, and then we can leave those because I did say we weren't going to do a window. And then, let's see. We're going to have a chimney back here, so we're not really going to need to place in another sort of triangle shape for our roof. But on the front, this might look a little bit plain, so of course we are going to want to place one in here. So if we space ourselves out like this, and then I think that should be a good spot. Do we maybe want to place it somewhere else? I think this might be good. So let's leave it here, and then I'm just going to sort of create my little triangle shape going up once again, and there we go. So this is going to be the smallest roof of them all, but in the end it really is going to add a lot more detail. So our next step to sort of finish off and make this build, or the roof I should say, a lot easier to make is going to be adding some cross beams. And this is, since the stairs can be a little bit tricky to place in the direction you want them to, we're going to place in these, and I always do these just to sort of give myself some guidelines. And so I'm just going to sort of connect all the roofs together like this. So let's see, how can I speed this up as much as possible? I think this should be a good enough sort of demonstration for you guys. So I'll do a few more. Maybe I'll just connect this whole corner, but you guys are going to want to do the same thing in the end. So we'll go like this. And then of course these little cross beams are going to be extended all the way across. But in the end, you're just going to connect all the little triangle shapes together like this, and then you should be done. So I'm going to do that really quick, and I'll see you guys when it's complete. Okay, so those little cross beams and everything to connect the roof are complete. So what I'm going to do is just fly around really quick just to sort of show you guys and give you guys a reference so you can make sure you didn't really make any mistakes. And yeah, so I mean, if everything connected correctly, it should be pretty easy to fill in the end. And then of course from the inside, it really does not matter how messy you made it look. But as long as everything connected, you should be fine. So our next step is going to be to grab our birch wood, and we're going to start filling in some of these little triangle walls from the inside. So we're going to do 2 blocks like this. Actually, let's do 3. So we'll do 3 in on either side on the bottom, and of course this is the front of the build where we're at right now. And then we can just do sort of a triangle shape going up to the top, and then that should fill our window in perfect. So we're going to switch over to our glass, fill these in. Oops. And this is going to be sort of a cross shape, and then we'll move to the back and do the same thing. So we'll do 3 across the bottom like that on either side. So we'll do 1, 2, 3, and then our triangle shape leading up to the top. So let's do this really quick. And then of course, just like we did for the front, we're going to do the same thing on the back with our little window. So place all 4 of these in. Actually, this is 5, isn't it? Yep, all 5 of those in. And then that should be good. For these right here, let me just fly in. It should be easier to do from the inside. So if I just go through here. Wow, this is a massive build. There's so much we could do with this. I think the interior for this is going to be really fun. So let's see. Let's go and switch to our birchwood. Fill these in. We're just going to need 4, and then I think we might do the same thing right here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then this one should be a bit more, although you can pretty much just do the same pattern just fill in wherever you have a gap, and then there we go. I believe that's all we need from the inside. So now we can start moving on to the exterior roof, and this is really what's going to sort of complete our build. And then of course we do have the chimney, although I'm thinking we should probably save that for the end. In fact, yes, we'll definitely save that for the end. So for the roof, there's only a few materials you're going to need. So let's just get all those out right now. In fact, it might be easier just to fly over to a previous build and grab all of them. So of course, as you see, you are going to need some stairs. And in this case, we'll need stone brick stairs and spruce wood stairs. You'll also need a stone brick full block, and then a cobblestone wall like that. And then one more thing you might want are these fences, which we actually already have, and then a spruce wood full block. And I believe that's it. Is there anything else? Oh yeah, the stone brick half slab. There we go. I believe that's all that we need though. So to start this thing off, we are going to go to the right side of the front and place a stone brick stair right here, and then we'll go one to the left, creating that sort of overhang. And then from there, we're just going to work our way up to the top, just like this, until we get to here. And then from there, we're going to do a half slab right on the top, and then above that stair that we just recently placed, we're going to do one more stair. Oops, that's a full block. But as I was saying, we're going to do one more stair right on top of that, and then on the top half of that stair, we'll do a half slab, then a full block, and then our cobblestone wall to give it sort of that little Gothic / medieval design on the very top to sort of make it stand out from the rest of some of our other styles, I guess. And then once again, we're going to be mimicking the same sort of design on the left portion of this little triangle shape, and we'll just work our way up to the top until we get to here. Then we'll do one more stair on top of that previous one we placed, and then that should be pretty much finished, although we will need to be placing some upside down stairs below all of these, just to sort of make the wall, or excuse me, the roof look a bit more thick and sturdy, I guess. And then so that's that. Not too much else we really need to do for this, although the little triangle shape over here is going to be the exact same, so I'm going to do that really quick, and I'll see you guys when it's finished. Alright, so those two little triangle shapes are done. Now all we have left to do are these two small ones, and then that one medium-sized one over there. So I'm going to show you how to do one of each. So for the small ones, this is probably the most simple. We're just going to place a stone brick stair right here in the middle of this one, and then one more on the middle of this. And then from there, we can just start working our way up. And make sure when you place these, they are one block overhang from the oak wood. And then we can just work our way up to the top. Same thing on this side. And then once we reach that peak, we can start placing in the blocks for our little medieval style design for the roof. So we can just start placing those stairs above. Also, we cannot forget to place in this little half slab right there, and then one more there. Then we'll switch it up, go stone brick full block, and then a cobblestone wall to sort of top it off. And then last but not least, let's place in some upside down stairs just to sort of make it look a bit more sturdy and complete. So we got those, and then of course this little small roof or triangle shape right here is going to be the exact same. So I'll do that on my own in a little bit. But for this medium-sized roof, it is going to be a little bit different. It's sort of going to be a mix between this one and that one, just a little bit in between. So we'll start here, go left, create that overhang, and then same thing over here, except we'll be moving to the right. And then once again, create that overhang, and then from there we can just start working our way up to the top. And there's loads of different things you can try with these roofs. As you can see, these are sort of just standard triangles, but if we move over to some of these other builds, you'll see that we've created a bunch of different shapes, sort of where it goes up 2 blocks instead of just one. And then I think, where else have we done this? I believe it might be on the prison. I think I did something a little bit different, did I? Maybe not. Where the heck did I do it? Is it down here? You know what, forget that for now. I'll probably talk about that a bit more in a future video. But yeah, as I was saying, there's just loads of different things you want to try. So if you'd like to, or if you have more time, you can definitely sort of experiment and do your own little things. And basically, one of the biggest things to be able to change styles is shaping your roof. Because if you go with the standard shape like this, it really does tend to look a bit more medieval. But if you sort of have it just really go up at a much sort of sharper angle, it's going to create more of a Nordic look. So that's just one thing to sort of note if you are trying to create different styles or come up with one of your own styles. And then for say like an Elven style, you could have the roof sort of slant out to the outside, or even a Nordic style might do that. So let's see, where were we? We're sort of completing this roof, so let's put those last 2 stairs on top of these, and then finish it up with this half slab right there, then a full block, and then to top it off, we'll place in that cobblestone wall right there, and then that should be it. So let's see, what else do we need to do? You know what, this roof right here shouldn't take too long, so I'm going to fill this in really fast, and then show you how to sort of connect all these little stone brick stairs around the sort of outskirts of the build, which will just be these right here. Oops. There we go. But then back to this for now. So let's do these, and then we can start going up on this side as well until we reach the top, and we'll place one more in right here, then get the rest of our upside down stairs. Then we can do a half slab, bang right there, and then let's see, oops, 2 more stairs. I almost started making the thing without doing these extra stairs, so we'll do 2 more stairs, then 1 more half slab, and then a full block, and then of course to finish it off we'll throw in this little cobblestone wall, and then that should be all you need for right there. Now let me just make sure I got everything. Yeah, that should be it. So to sort of connect it all together, we're going to switch back to our stone brick stairs. We'll place one there. I think this side will need 1 more. This one will probably need 1, 2. In fact, let's switch this so it's facing that way. So that'll be right there, and then this one will be 1, 2, 3, and then I believe that should be all. Yep, so we can start switching over to some different blocks, such as the full spruce wood plank, and just sort of connect all the roofs together like this on the very top, and then this one's going to cross all the way across this side. This will be the longest roof, I believe, and then these 2 smaller ones, you can sort of connect these as well, and then on top of these, you're just going to switch over to your fences and just fill it in with those. So we'll do 1 more layer of the fences, and this is what really creates that medieval style look, or even Gothic if you want to. Although for the Gothic walls, I would recommend using some sort of white wool or white stained clay. I just think it looks a bit more grimy and sort of really just old-fashioned, I guess. So let's see, how else can we do this? I think that one's good for now. What else do we need to do besides filling in the rest of our roof? You know what, I actually think that's all of it. So to finish this thing off, all you're going to do is switch over to your spruce wood stairs and then just fill in wherever you have a sort of open section of the oak wood log. So I'm going to do that really quick. It's going to be pretty simple. I don't think I need to really show you guys how to do it, but I'll see you guys when it's done. Okay, so there we go. The roof is complete, and we will be doing, oops, I almost forgot this as well. We're going to need to place fences across this if you didn't already. So it'll just take 4 of those, and then we'll finish it off with the chimney, and then on the inside when we do our little interior tutorial / show around, this will end up being a fireplace on the inside. And did we use bricks for our chimney for this build, or... Okay, yeah, we did use bricks, so I'm just going to grab those really quick. And of course, if you guys don't like the looks of bricks, or in your texture pack they might be really red and nasty or something, you can always choose to use something different. But I'm going to stick with the bricks just because in this texture pack it really does sort of, it has a nice medieval look to it. So I'm going to throw these in, and it's going to be sort of a simple chimney, nothing too crazy. But we'll just do sort of a design like this, maybe remove some blocks as we go up, like so. And then let's see. Man, this is really a tall build. I didn't expect it to be this big in the end, but I think it really fits the area nicely. So we'll do something like this and just sort of make a circular shape as we go up. Maybe we'll go up 5 blocks. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Actually, those 4. We'll go up 4 instead. We don't need too big of a chimney. So we'll do something like that. And as you can see, that's really sort of flat and nasty for now. So we'll do 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And then to mix this up, maybe we'll place in some stairs like this going around, just to sort of give it some more shape and style. So something like that, and then maybe some fences in between here, just to mix it up a little bit. And then on the top, what I usually like to do is just grab myself some stairs. Actually, how can we do this? Oh, that's a cool one over there. If we just used the stone bricks going something like this. Here, can I do this? So maybe we'll switch all of these here. We'll remove all those and then switch it up so it's just stairs, so it's a bit more thin as we go up. So we'll place 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5, there we go. And then some upside down stairs going all the way up to the top. Just like this. And then to finish it off, if I can place all these down correctly, gosh dang it. Oh my gosh, I'm doing really bad today, wow. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, oh, this is gonna be a tight fit. 4, 4, and 5. There we go. Did I place all these right? Nope, this one still needs to be upside down. So there we go. And now, as I was saying, to finish this damn thing off, took us long enough, we'll grab ourselves some cobblestone walls. We'll do 1, 2, and 3, and 4. And then on top of those, maybe just add in some brick slabs like this. And then that should be all. I mean, this chimney, I think it looked or turned out nice in the end. Not really too much else we could do, although I think it's got a nice big shape, nice size. It really sort of suits the build in all this majesty. And then let's see what else. Of course, the smoke. We will need to add some of this. So for the smoke, I usually just like to do the cobwebs. And in your cities and towns, make sure you place all the smoke facing the same way, because in real life, wind in a certain area does blow the same direction. It's not blowing in like 1,000 different directions. It doesn't happen like that, guys. But so yeah, to make it a bit more realistic and just sort of look nicer, just make sure and have your smoke or whatever's coming out of the chimney face the same way. It just really ends up giving it more of a complete, stylized and finished and realistic look in the end. So I believe this is all we have to do today. Of course, there will be an interior video coming out soon. So if you do have any suggestions for that, definitely let me know in the comments. Or if you have any ideas for some of our upcoming styles coming up, I think our next one will be the Gothic style. And then after that, we'll be moving back on to the Nordic one again. So if you have any ideas for buildings for that styles, or for those styles, definitely let me know those down in the comments. But yeah, just want to thank you guys again for watching today, of course. And as always, I will see you in the next one.